Hello, hello. Hey guys. All is well with me. All is well here. And I pray that all is well with you. So if you are joining me, welcome, welcome. Share, say something so that I know that you're here. Chat with me. Hello. I'll give a few minutes for some people to join me. I see we have a couple of people coming on in. So if you are joining me, welcome. Say hey, share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Songbird, good evening. How are you? Welcome, welcome to my YouTube live. So, if this is your first time joining me, I am Katherine Holmes Jones, your holistic life coach. You are tuning in to day 4 of the 7-day live YouTube challenge dared by the one and only Dr. Shamika Dean. So, many regards to Dr. Dean for pushing us out of our comfort zones. Um, so, come on in. Y'all come on in and chat with me. So, here we go, day 4. Good evening. That's Laderia. How are you, Laderia? Okay. So, glad to have you. Welcome. So don't forget to share and don't forget to subscribe so that you can see when I'm on next. So y'all, today is day 4 of the 7-day live, and I want to share with you, I guess you could call it a cliche, that I hold to be true, contrary to popular opinion. And that is you are what you eat. I don't know if you heard of it, but if you have y'all heard of you are what you eat? So I truly believe that in every sense of the word, because being a holistic life coach and the owner of a wellness store, it's kind of complicated to help people improve their physical well-being without touching on the mental and the spiritual, because it's all part of the whole. So um, you are what you eat, and it can be looked at from 3 different sides, is what I'm going to share with you tonight. But I want y'all to talk with me, chat back with me if you agree or if you have something else that you want to add. So the 3 sides, but they tie in all together, being what are you feeding your mind, mind, body, and spirit. What are you feeding your mind? What are you feeding your spirit? What are you feeding your body? And so um, we'll start with the mind. So the thing is, if faith comes by hearing and faith is believing, then you can believe what you hear. And this is one way you can feed your mind. Do y'all agree? So, are you hearing something negative or positive? Because if the power of life and death is in your tongue, then that means that words have power and they have the power to make or break you. So they can enter in through work. They can enter in through several ways. Your ear gates, your eye gate. So depending on what you're listening to on the phone, um, gossiping or positive conversation, the radio, social media, or the television, words and sounds can have an effect on your mind. Um, Even in the case of like listening to soft music to relax you, it has an effect on you. So, what are you reading in order to? Because even in order to comprehend a story or some information, then you have to read the words, um, or either listen to the words. So, also the word of God, y'all, it says, "As a man thinketh, so is he." So you are what you eat, even when it comes to your mind. So that, okay, next then we have the spirit. How do you feed your spirit? Me, pretty much almost the same way you feed your mind, through those gateways. Um, your eyes, your ears, and even your environment, of course. Music, the music you listen to, the television, stuff you watch on the television, y'all, you sit up there watching this stuff. Thank you for agreeing with me. You're watching this stuff, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. But to be honest, you're gonna sit there and think it out. I mean, why we have reactions to what we're watching on television, so it has that effect. If it can have that kind of effect on us, then you are feeding your spirit because if you're trying to get past fear and you're watching something that's about that or causing you to jump and you know react to what it is that you're watching, then you're seriously taking it in. So what is it that you're feeding your spirit? um what are you reading? What's in your environment? You're feeding your mind, you're feeding your spirit through even your mind. What you're thinking, you feed your spirit like that. So music, television, people, places. Are you being around people that feed your spirit positively, or people that are always gossiping about somebody else? You ever been around a person and you know if you're strong enough, and you haven't been in that type of environment, but if you're strong enough, you can change that too. You can change your environment because you can have people hang around you and you begin to be that positive influence that they need. They can be talking negative, and if you say something positive, then their reaction is, yeah, you're right, yeah. And then next thing you know, they're talking positive. So there, you rubbed off. So your connections do matter. And so if you're feeding yourself through the word of God or speaking positive affirmations over yourself, over your, listening to music or inspirational messages or speaking affirmations over yourself, having positive connections and those inspirational messages and music that uplift your spirit. And I'm not saying that it just has to be gospel music, but music that lifts you, because I love music. I love all types of music, but I mind, what I'm listening to. I even mind the words that are being spoken, if it's words. And so having positive connections that have positive influence, then that way you are feeding your spirit. So if you're feeding your spirit well, you'll be able to grow spiritually. If you're feeding it positivity, you'll be able to grow spiritually. Um, you'll be able to feed others what you ate. So taking the opposite route, of course, which is negativity, it leads to unhealthy connections, unhealthy relationships, unsound doctrines, other stuff that's not beneficial to your spirit. So, or your spiritual well-being. So you are what you eat, concerning your mind, concerning your spirit, and then the last one, your body. And I talked about this yesterday. I love talking about health stuff. So because me having gone through sickness time and again and overcoming ailments in my body, and I totally understand the importance of eating healthy, because I once made some unwise, tasteful, I'll say. The food tastes good. I can't say that just because it was bad, it wasn't good to me. I once made unwise, tasteful choices that led to distasteful outcomes. And so that kind of alerted me, put me in a place to where, hey, I don't want to deal with this outcome anymore. So I need to be paying attention to what I put in my body. The same way what I put in my physical body, the same way you need to pay attention to what you put in your spiritual well-being, your spiritual body, in your mind, what you feed your mind. So unhealthy foods going in my mouth and being enticed by smell good treats. My nose had a part in it, y'all, because you can be doing fine and you can smell something. Somebody in my house was cooking brownies yesterday. And I know I didn't need the brownies, and they smell so good. I'm talking about, I was about to be like, man, let me just go eat half of this here. Let me just go eat this. And then my mind went everywhere. I was like, some ice cream on top of it. But, if you're not careful, if you're not strong enough to discipline yourself and keep it in a place where you're feeding it what it needs, then you'll end up right off, sometimes, they call it treating themselves sometimes when it comes down to the body and eating stuff. And you can do that every now and then, but if you're going to keep doing, if you're not strong enough and you're going to taste this and you're going to keep on wanting to do it, then you might not want to go that way. Like, if you're an alcoholic and you're trying not to, then you don't want to go hang around a lot of folks doing all this drinking, because it's tempting. And so why put yourself in that place of being tempted? So, I have to be mindful of, even watching the commercials, what's going through my eye gates again. Then you got those gates, the mouth. That's how it get in there, eating it. And then I smell it, it's enticing. And then I see it, you sitting there watching commercials, and all of a sudden you see You see pizza. This is funny. Somebody put a nose and eyes in the comments, but all of a sudden you see this pizza because I was on the phone not long ago with my grandma, and she was saying, "Ooh, this pizza looks so good," and she was talking about a commercial, and she was saying that the cheese is just all the way she was defining it, describing it, saying how stretchy and long the cheese was, and it looked hot and crunchy and so tasty. And my mind went on some pizza. That's like the one of the number one American foods. But um, she was talking about that pizza, and it made me really want to just go get me some pizza. But I did not do it. I didn't give in. So um, that was another gateway, that was tempting, that was causing me to be able to just sit there and think about it. Caused me to think about it, that's what I wanted, something that I wanted. So um but it was all unhealthy. So, or hearing other people ask, have you tried this and have you tried that, it'll cause those unwanted results. So just because grease and sugar taste good and feel like taste good, and you feel like it's the best thing right then, that don't mean that it's not this that is good for you, or that because you're healthy, it does not mean that it won't affect you in the long run, because you don't see any it's not you don't seem it doesn't seem to be affecting you now. But in the long run, I'm telling you, because I'm a culprit. And coming up, I was eating some of everything, and I'm talking about everything, and I was a little bit more on the way, um healthier side, than I am now. But I had to learn. And so you got people that are on medications, and they feel like, that gives them permission to eat what they want to eat, because the medication gonna cure you. If you take a medication for high blood pressure, but you eating a whole pile of pork chop every single day, it kind of defeats the purpose. It's just gonna be a long time that you're on those things. So you have to be careful what you're feeding yourself, because it will manifest later on. That's why I say you are what you eat. So if it's possible to change your genetic destiny, then it's also possible to make a right choice about what goes into your mouth, what goes into your, in your spirit, what goes into your mind, what you allow yourself to think, what you feed your mind, what you feed your spirit, what you feed your body. So everything you see, hear, taste, touch, and allow to enter your mind, body, or spirit can have a negative or positive influence on you. You are what you eat. So what y'all think? That's all I have for you tonight. I just wanted to share that with you, give you something to think about. Everybody doesn't believe it the same way. They say, because the Bible said, of course, in the Old Testament, all foods were declared clean and all of this kind of stuff, but you have to um rightly divide it, and you have to know what's best for you, for your body, and what makes you better. If you're not better, then it's something that you can stand to change. We can stand some growth. All of us can stand some growth, because I can't say I'm all the way in this healthy thing. Yeah, Ricardo says overeating is unhealthy. Yeah, because you can be eating something healthy, and like me, you can be eating something healthy, and if it's good, sometimes we can overeat right there, because it's good, because it tastes good. Like those collard greens that I had cooked Sunday, and they were so good. And I was just still standing there eating. After I ate, I was still eating a little bit more. I hated to put them up, and I was still eating a little bit more. And I was like, let me stop. But just because it's good for you, you can still have too much of a good thing. So we have to learn how to use wisdom concerning these things, and understand that, you are what you eat. Some people tend to disagree. Some people don't. So I see I have a few people that disagree, but I thank you all so much for joining me on tonight. And like I said, if you have not already subscribe to my YouTube channel, or share the page, share the video later, so that it can help somebody else. And I hope I was able to help you. And so until next time, um, God willing, tomorrow, I will see you on tomorrow, which would be day 5 of this 7-day live YouTube challenge. And you all have a wonderful night. Peace.